tired, man.
All right.
This new life is not conducive to me.
This. Okay. Here we go.
What is this new life?
Man, let me tell you.
His having a baby, right?
Oh.
You said, oh. Let's see here.
Hey, man, why I ain't got my screen up there? Why'd you unplug that?
Well, because we only had the one cable.
We got more.
We
Sir,
have 1 and 2.
I have 37 HDMI cables that I have literally stolen from this building.
I mean,
We're not live, are we?
we are definitely live.
Oh, I didn't steal them.
Okay.
I reappropriated them from the engineering department. How you mean we only got 2? I go in this box and I find 2 more cables.
Oh, you found it? I'm proud of you.
Oh, you were terrible.
I mean, it don't matter now. We're live.
Oh, we are?
Yeah, I said that several times.
Yeah, I wasn't listening.
Yeah, we live. Y'all know who we are. I'm Michael.
I'm Leroy.
We here trying to get this stuff done.
Why didn't you use this cable right there instead of using the long cable?
I told you I didn't see that cable.
You didn't look for it.
I didn't say I did. I just said I didn't see it.
It was literally right here.
That's not where I looked.
I see that. There's another one in there too.
Okay, well, great.
And you were the one who accused me of having too much stuff down here.
I was. Hello, everybody. This is Press Play for the night of September 11th.
You sorry.
2020.
First, you would chastise me for having this stuff. Look, now the TV's trying to turn off, man.
It doesn't matter.
Shut up.
That doesn't matter.
Shut up.
Okay, you realize that now? Great.
And then you don't even use the stuff that I find.
You'll be alright.
It's not the point.
What are we talking about?
I already just told you that, man.
Don't do that.
I literally went
Right,
through.
but what I'm saying is we haven't said it to them.
That's what I was asking you.
Yeah, so what'd you pick?
You're trying to get me, aren't you?
I wasn't, but as you started to get irritated, it changed to that. Yes. Yeah.
You tell them. As you figure out the order we're gonna go in.
I don't know what the order's gonna be. We'll let them decide. We got streaming service distribution with Amazon and Netflix and as Alicia brought to my attention, Hulu and how they were streaming some of their stuff. How they were.
Yeah, but Hulu had always done that though.
No.
Yeah, they did.
Having a few and then once a week.
Mm-hmm.
No, not for everything because that wasn't the way for like the second season of.
The majority of it streams once a week.
Yeah.
No, for a while they were for certain shows.
I guess it depends on the show.
Yeah, so certain shows they would do like a whole season dump.
Yeah.
Then for certain shows they would do 3 episodes and then each individual episode. And then for some stuff it was just 1 episode. So Hulu had always been kind of the weird one. Whereas Amazon, Netflix, and I want to say the rest of them were just like, here's all your stuff.
Okay. Is that free cable in the background? Because we're talking about the cable you got off to the side. So we're talking about video streaming distribution. We're talking about Ubisoft's second Ubisoft Forward event.
Yeah, you go talk about that.
I mean, I ain't got much to talk about. I just told you what was going to happen. You were like, nah.
I mean, I really didn't care.
Okay. And we're also talking about, I think the big news, or at least for me, the Xbox,
Yeah.
the price.
So let's start with your Ubisoft thing.
Okay. Also, Lauren is joining us through phone because we still can't figure out good video connection and quality stuff. Hey, Lauren.
From the great beyond.
I wish y'all could see her. She's clear here.
Yeah, it's when you switch it over to something else. I don't know.
I wonder if the generation or this not
cable.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, but that wouldn't be because it's still clear on there. It's just Lauren's picture. We'll figure that out later.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So Ubisoft had a Ubisoft Forward event, basically a streaming press conference that talked about some new games coming out. To me, the biggest news that came out of that was the Prince of Persia remake from 2003 coming out in 2021, I think. That was the original PS2 Xbox Prince of Persia game was getting remastered. with Yuri Lowenthal, the voice of Marvel Spider-Man, was also the voice of Prince of Persia. He's coming back to voice the character, and I think everybody else is coming back as well. So I'm kind of pumped for that. Just because, yeah, I enjoyed Prince of Persia when it came out. Okay. Lauren, did you ever play Prince of Persia?
I did not.
Are you familiar with the character, or just like the movie?
I mean, I know about the movie, but I don't. I don't know. I was more. I don't know. I'll say I don't know.
Yeah, we heard.
I know what I played. I stick with my games. Mm-hmm. The Sims. That's it.
Yeah, The Sims, and that's it. To me, Leroy, you didn't even watch Ubisoft Forward, right?
No.
You knew it was coming because I told you about it, but you still didn't watch it. Why? Just because you don't care about Ubisoft? You're like, nothing's...
I guess I feel like it wasn't going to be interesting considering that everything that they had already announced, there was nothing big enough that was going to make me watch another press conference. Because if it was worth it, they would have already announced it. Mm-hmm. And I feel like this is just... You're kind of trying to piggyback off of everybody else doing something, and it's like that person who's like, me, hey, look at me, don't forget about me. And it's like, you already had one of these. So what are you doing now that you didn't do before? Mm-hmm. I don't care. So and that's kind of how I feel, because it's like, it just seems like they want people to pay attention to them, but it's like, you already did this and you already told us what you had coming out. So if it was something, you already told us about Assassin's Creed. Mm-hmm. You already told us about Watch Dogs. Mm-hmm. You already told us about that's really all I care about. But that's,
so maybe, I mean, it might even be a thing that you don't even care about Ubisoft games overall.
It's not that I don't care about their games. I just felt like if you're going to do it, mm-hmm. do it all, like, just do it all at once. Don't try to piecemeal this stuff out if you don't have a lot of stuff, because
I don't think they had enough to do all at once.
And that's my point. So you wasted my. They sort of.
Say it again, Lauren.
I said it will still be more. Like if you give like that collective, it'll still be more, hold more weight than just these little piecemeal, dropping hints here and there.
Yeah, but if you look at it, all of these game companies and everybody, they're kind of following the model that Nintendo did with their direct presentations. A few years ago, Nintendo stopped doing E3 press conferences.
Yeah, they did their own thing.
And they started doing essentially a virtual event before the pandemic started up. Here's a self-contained 50-minute press conference. Yeah. People were kind of like, what's going on? But now everybody's kind of doing them. Microsoft's doing them, Sony's doing them. So they're all kind of following what Nintendo did, and I think they're still trying to find their footing on how to do it.
And that's why I said there's nothing I really cared that they had coming out, because I felt like we would have heard it before. And I played Prince of Persia. I thought the game back in the day was good. I thought it was, for the time that it came out, yeah, it was great. But now, in 2021, mm-hmm. that's your remaster?
That is
and that's why I was like, if it was good, mm-hmm. I feel like it's one of those things where if this was good, if this was, as Dylon said, hot fire, we would have seen clips of this. We would have seen something before now. That was hot garbage.
Hot garbage.
Did you see that? That looked like, what Prince of Persia...
Hold on, what you about to say? Don't be hyperbolic. What you about to say?
That Prince of Persia remastered looked like the movie version of the, almost said the S word, of the Jake Gyllenhaal movie that was hot garbage.
That don't even make sense.
Hot.
Yeah, it looks like trash, but it's a trash movie, but it doesn't look like that.
But what I'm saying is, that's how that game looked. Like, they tried to make a game version of that crappy movie, and 2021, in the age of remastered games, mm-hmm. that's what you had a press conference for? Mm-hmm. You know what should have happened?
What?
The Sandman from the Apollo should have came out with his cane and the music and just started whacking people on that press conference stage. I didn't even see it. I'm telling y'all right now, this is my honest opinion. F Ubisoft for that trash. You got Resident Evil 2 and 3. You've got, what's the thing that they got you to buy that you don't even like the game?
Final Fantasy VII?
So you see the remakes they're doing, and that's the best you could do? Mm-hmm. In this day and age? Mm-hmm. With COVID?
Wait, what does that mean?
What I'm telling you
is the point about the COVID?
With COVID and you wasted our time, we stuck at home, and this is the best you came up with? Mm-hmm. He don't even look Persian.
I would argue that he does.
How? He looks like Jake Gyllenhaal in that game.
He does not look
He
like
does
Jake
not.
Gyllenhaal.
Hold on. Why everybody else darker than the protagonist, and he is supposed to be Persian?
I mean, not all Persian people have the same skin tone.
Yeah.
Lauren, how he look?
I don't think Lauren's seen it yet.
Lauren saw it.
Did you see it?
Let me look it up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She ain't seen it yet.
All I'm
To
saying.
me, I will totally agree. It does not look like a next gen, or not even next gen game, because it's PS4 and Xbox One. It doesn't look as great as the end of a console generation. I feel like it looks like the beginning of a console generation.
Doesn't even look like the beginning. It looks like.
Oh yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
The lighting that you wouldn't have gotten that on PS3.
Sir.
Wait.
That
You wouldn't have gotten
hold
that
on.
on PS3.
You see it, Lauren?
Yeah, he looked like. Nah, man, this ain't cool.
What I tell you?
Hey, cool.
What I tell you? That game doesn't even look as good as the Killzone game that came out in the first wave of PS4 games. I know because I played that thing 5 times. That game is hot garbage.
Okay, but that's fine. What I'm saying is that's still what you would get at the beginning of PS4 and Xbox.
We didn't get even that bad at the beginning of PS4.
Well,
Knack looked better than that.
Where is Persia located?
Where is Persia located?
Okay, so it's near. Okay, it's like near Iran, like that kind of like
Yes.
Iraq, Iran.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Iraq, Iran, Iran. Lord have mercy. Saudi Arabia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he need a few more shades. Just a few, I guess. I don't know, because they still.
Persia, Prince of Persia looked like this.
It was not that white. Calm down.
Really?
It did no.
Yes, it did.
It did
Chat,
not.
look it up. Look it up.
It didn't look like
Okay.
that. To me,
Oh, Jake Gyllenhaal looking game.
anyway, it doesn't look good. I will totally agree it doesn't look good. I'm not so much concerned about the
Look,
visual quality.
you wanna know how it
the
plays.
gameplay, yes, because I enjoyed the PS2 and Xbox Prince of Persia games.
I'm not knocking the game. For the time that it came out, it was good. But again, this is 2020. That's the best y'all can do.
Now, I will totally agree. They could do
And,
better without looks.
that's what I'm saying. You plan to you want somebody to drop $40, $50,
I think they said 40.
40. You want somebody to drop $40 on a brand new Prince of Persia game,
Well, kind of brand newish.
on a remastered Prince of Persia game
Yeah.
that don't even look as good as anything coming out that's been remastered from that time period. Get out of my face, Ubisoft. You better go get that Valhalla 2 going.
Friend
my
of the
time.
show, Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot, please come on and talk to
CB
us.
Hunt said it looked like Paul of Persia.
Bravo. Bravo.
Oh, Brady of Persia looking game.
So there was nothing from the thing that you saw?
Not really, because I really was expecting more. And that's because I like those games. I love The Division. I love Rainbow Six. I like Ghost Recon. I want to see more of that. And I didn't get any of that.
I don't think any of that stuff's already.
I know, and that's why I said this is just them. What can we get together so we can stay in the conversation?
Yeah.
And that's how I felt it was, because they were like, show them Prince of Persia. They'll go for that. And it's like, you know what they did to us?
What's that?
They did to us what Sonic the Hedgehog did with that first trailer. That's what.
So maybe a new team's going to come in and clean up the graphics and it'll be great? Okay. Maybe.
They do that for your game, Michael, Marvel Avengers?
I will say this. Hey, side note, and Brian Gamer, I think you got my friend request. So I think I finally got the right PSN name. Let me know when you want to play, because I definitely want to play with some people. I am having a lot of fun with Marvel's Avengers.
That's good.
Now it is a buggy mess.
Oh, I heard.
It is full of bugs.
It is not reviewed well.
The campaign I enjoyed a lot. The single player campaign was fun.
I heard those were really good.
Yeah, the
The story,
multiplayer.
I heard the story missions were good.
It is definitely a game that you want to play with your buddies and
Yeah.
your friends and go through and beat up people. But like it's a buggy mess. So yeah, I like it.
But that's why I felt like with the Ubisoft stuff, the stuff that you mentioned when you told me about it, and I heard about it, I was like, I'm not, because it was 3 hours.
no, it's only an hour.
Something
Three?
something I saw was
No,
3 hours of stream or whatever.
no, it might have been 50 minutes.
I'm not I wanted those games. I enjoyed. I still played The Division. I love those games. I think they put a lot of weight and money behind them. And I felt like if you're going to do Prince of Persia, and I looked and I saw the trailer. I guess I saw somebody go streaming it, and I was like, wait a minute, that's the remaster. I honestly thought I was looking at the original game when I saw the remaster. I was like, I don't remember it looking like that. And then they were like,
Then they actually showed you the remaster, and you realized, oh, it does look better than that.
And I was like, but that's the best y'all could do. And I was like, I'm out. This is a waste of my time. And I feel like, again, if you're going to do something like that, if you're going to do a remaster, if you're not going to go balls out and put all the money into it, don't bother with it. Let an indie studio do it, or do an indie kind of like what they did with do something different. Kind of like what Far Cry did with that crazy game they did within Far Cry 4, was it?
Which, the one that went to BC time?
Yeah.
Yeah, Far Cry Primal?
Yeah.
I think that was 4.
Yeah, not Primal, or the one before that.
Blood Dragon.
Yes.
Yeah, that was for 3.
So do something like that.
Yeah.
Don't, and I guess, and again, it's one of those things where it's like, you just slap Prince of Persia, put some mechanics on it, and then threw it up there, and I'm like, that's what you want me to spend $40? Because remember, in 2021, the games that are hot right now that are $60 and $70 are gonna be reduced. So you're gonna try to get me to spend $40 on a crap Prince of Persia game when I can probably get Ghost of Tsushima's probably gonna be pretty cheap next year this time. Last of Us 2, Halo Infinite's coming out. You're probably gonna get a Game of the Year edition of Control.
That's already out.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Because
that's a side note. People are upset because there's not a free upgrade from the PS4.
Oh yeah, you have to buy the game of the yeah. So that's going to be on sale. I feel like in the COVID time where money is tight, that's what y'all thought y'all was Ubisoft, you ain't got friends, because I told you straight up that was trash.
That was the only game that came out from Ubisoft. I am happy about Immortals: Phoenix Rising. It kind of looks like a Breath of the Wild clone, which I'm perfectly fine with. I am perfectly fine with the Breath of the Wild clone.
It looks like the free-to-play clone of Breath of the Wild that you would download as a free game.
You were too harsh. That game does not look like no mobile game. You were not looking at the shading. I feel like you're just being anti.
It didn't look great.
We disagree on that.
Okay.
That's fine. What else we talking about?
That's it?
I mean, it only lasted 50 minutes.
It was 50 minutes too long.
It wasn't not much happened.
It was 50
I'm the only one that saw it. You didn't see it.
I don't have to. It was trash.
So how else we going to talk about it?
You can talk about it and I can trash it.
Lauren, let's get to your topic.
Yeah, man. We're going to talk about the fact that I sat there and tried to watch The Boys all last weekend and only had 3 episodes to see. I guess I should have been more in the know at this point.
I didn't know either.
I was upset.
I didn't know either.
I don't know, and audience, y'all let us know if it was widely publicized that it was only going to be 3 episodes at a time. If you don't know, on September 4th, last Friday, Boys Season 2 dropped on Amazon Prime, and only 3 episodes came out. And now they're going to do it weekly.
Every Friday. Or 3:30. Or 3 a.m. in the morning Eastern.
Yeah.
Because that's when I started watching it.
So it kind of rubbed some people the wrong way. But to be fair, when The Boys Season 1 came out, I think it was once a week, right?
Nope.
Was it all at once?
Yep.
You sure?
Yep.
It's all at once.
Yep.
It was, okay.
Because I watched it that week it came out.
Okay. So Lauren, how you feeling now after have you seen the episode 4?
After you've been bamboozled?
I haven't looked for it yet. I'm on a different schedule now, so I can't just pop up at 3 a.m. and watch stuff anymore.
That's true.
But I'm planning on watching it once I get off here with y'all. That and the last episode of P-Valley. Shout out to P-Valley. If y'all haven't seen it, y'all need to watch it. But no, I was upset because it just threw me off. And I called my cousin too, and I was like, "Yo, am I tripping, or did they just give us 3 episodes? Like, what's happening?" And so I asked him because I knew he was sitting down and watching it that weekend too, and he was like, "No, I think we did just get 3 episodes," and then we both Googled it and everything and found out that they were giving us 1 by 1. And look, I understand it, sort of. I don't know, because I don't know if you can really gauge ratings on Amazon, you know.
Well, they
I know
can.
that's like,
You say what?
I'm just saying that's like part of the reason why like a CBS might do it or a ABC, you know, like a more cable, or HBO. But like Amazon, what? Why not? I don't understand why not. Because you want more people to stay on, you know, on your streaming service every week.
I think the idea is that we've gotten used to Netflix giving you this whole thing to binge at once, but something that Leroy brought up earlier in the week was it's only the topic of conversation for a week or 2 weeks maybe, but by this you continue to have people talking about Amazon or people talking about The Boys every week because it is a once a week thing.
So basically, this is the thing. How I figured it out. So I put up a poll that basically said, did you guys watch all of The Boys, or did you? Because I wanted to get people's reaction for what the show was, and a lot of people informed me because I didn't even click on it Friday. I was busy. They were like, "Yo, they only dropped 3 episodes," and I was like, "Wait, what?" And I'd already put the poll up, and so I went back and looked, and I was like, "Yo, it's only 3 episodes," and then. The guy, the chat or the community was right, and it made me think, why would they do that? And I was like, this is kind of genius on their part, which it's gonna rub people the wrong way. But if you're a business and your business streaming services and in this new social media day and age, you can't just you have to dominate the topic of conversation. Certain shows catch fire. And it's almost by chance they catch fire. Stranger Things, no one saw that coming. Why are you moving Paul the Persian?
Because it's just so random next to Black Panther. I just look.
I want it to be. I want you to see the contrast.
Shut up. Here's the comment.
So, Stranger Things was lightning in a bottle. They dumped all the seasons. No one really knew. It was word of mouth that really picked up, and people watching it and saying, hey, this is a great show. People started watching it. And then it was gone. If you remember back to when everybody was loving The Walking Dead, Game of Thrones, Lost, those shows dominated for weeks, months at a time, building this grand audience with people having this huge watch parties to see how this show or this season ended. When you dump your entire show in a weekend, yeah, you dominate maybe that week or two, but then after that, it's gone. This is a way to keep people. You drop 3 episodes. It lets people watch. It lets them all say, hey, we've seen the 3 episodes. And then it's like, this is basically what they're doing is the junkie method, or like what drug dealers do. They give you a huge taste in the beginning, right? That pure uncut. And then every other dose they hit you with is stepped on.
Lauren, say what you going to say.
I don't know what drug dealers do, Leroy.
That's why I'm explaining it, Lauren. That's what they do.
All right. Okay.
So, but think about it. That if you're really going to get somebody hooked, what you gonna do? You give them a huge dose in the beginning, right? Get them hooked. Then what you do? That week to week, and then you pull them in that week to week, and then every week you have somebody talking about your show. Everybody talking about what's going on. If Boys would have dropped, yeah, people would have been talking about it for what till this week, and then something else would have happened, and then that would have gotten passed by the wayside. Right now. How many episodes was The Umbrella Academy?
8, maybe, I think.
How many of y'all watched it in 8 weeks?
So, somebody, Boundless Book Owl brings up, fans are still talking about Umbrella Academy Season 2, and it's been almost 2 months.
Yeah. It's been almost 2 months, but how many people are talking about Umbrella Academy versus Lovecraft Country? Yeah.
Lovecraft just came out, so let's just say that.
But
it came out a couple weeks ago.
But it's hold on.
And I get what you're saying, Leroy, but my thing is like they could have warned us. I felt like there was no warning. I felt the warning came out the day after, or like the day that the show dropped. The warning was like, oh, by the way. But if you didn't know to Google it, or if you didn't know to look it up, you just knew you were going to watch The Boys that night, or day, or whatever. And, you know,
but
you get bamboozled.
But this is the thing. I agree it's a test. But I think right now everybody's going to try something different to see how they can keep subscribers. And I think, but Amazon is in a different boat where, like, look at Disney. Disney ain't giving y'all a whole season in one weekend.
Yeah.
Disney is the ultimate dealer. Disney is only going to give y'all one episode a week. And the only time y'all might get 2 episodes is if something big has happened. And even then, Disney's so much of a dealer. Disney charged y'all $30 for Mulan. That's going to be free in December.
Yeah, man.
I think it's going to be a little bit longer in December.
No, Disney said Mulan is coming out in December. It's free.
Wait, really?
We had this conversation, man.
I don't pay attention to you.
Well, we know we might not have had it. Me and Katie had it.
Okay.
But yeah, if you have Disney Plus, Mulan will be free. I think December the 4th or something. I don't forget what the date is, but it'll be free for all Disney Plus subscribers. But I guarantee you, Disney was looking back at their little metric sheet and they were like, "Paul, we should have done this with Hamilton. Damn it!"
Well, you could. How are you gonna do it with Hamilton? Oh, you're talking about the pay part. Not the, okay. Yeah.
Tell me people wouldn't have paid $20 or $30 to see Hamilton.
Honestly,
They would have more people.
I think it would have worked better for Hamilton than for Mulan.
But see,
personally, but
they
I
didn't.
don't know.
But this is the thing. They didn't think about that at the time. They were like, "Let's get some money for Mulan." But now, hindsight being 2020, I bet you the House of Mouse is wishing they'd charge y'all $20 for that.
I probably would have paid for it.
See?
So, Boundless Bookout brings up Umbrella Academy Season 2 was 10 episodes, not 8 episodes. So, I just want to get that out there, clarify that. Let's see. Ryan Porter brings up... Go ahead, Lauren.
I'd say this with Disney Plus. They're doing this in December because they dropped last November, and they know everybody's year-long subscription or whatever that free thing was if you were with Verizon. That's going to end.
Is that
in
you?
November.
Is that you?
That's me.
Okay.
So I'm paying for the actual subscription and Mulan, or whatever premium service they give us.
And watch
It's
this.
a mess.
And watch this. This is another thing too. Remember, remember how many people canceled once The Mandalorian was over. Once and that's why they did. Oh, let's show them how we made The Mandalorian. People cancel these subscriptions. They get them like track phones. They get a couple of minutes on them. They on the phone and they throw them away. That's what they're doing in this subscription service. So Disney's like, nah, y'all will keep this for at least 3 months.
Yeah. One comment Ryan Porter brought up when we were talking about releasing stuff weekly, and I guess probably in favor of doing it weekly. He was saying, but you got Lovecraft Country, Raised by Wolves, Woke, Umbrella Academy. How much can you watch? Got to work too. So he's saying,
Yeah.
It's almost a gluttony of stuff, right? So getting it once a week kind of helps. It's easier to digest and
also
keep up with all that stuff.
And to his point, and to another point, you got to remember, some people have the time to binge. They can sit down, like Lauren just said. Lauren was like, I was ready. I was off work. I'm ready to watch this. Well, some people's schedule, family, they can't do that. So then they're on the internet. They're like, oh, I'm gonna just go on Twitter or whatever, and somebody who's already watched the entire show one weekend, dropping all of the information, and it done broke and spoiled the show for you. So you're like, well, I don't even want to watch it now. So that week to week keeps everybody in the loop at the same time. It's the water cooler show. It goes back to that whole community viewing thing, and I don't know if it's gonna work. I don't know. It may change. We've seen Apple do their whole thing where it's 3 episodes and then the whole season. And then the other shows, Mythic Quest dropped it all. So I don't know if that's how they're going to measure what's going to be the litmus test. But I know they're trying stuff to see who watches what and to see what format it comes in. And don't be surprised if you see more stuff like this with their marquee shows.
And we're talking about Amazon, but it's not just Amazon that's doing this model of 3 and then 1 a week.
Yep.
Alicia was telling me that Hulu did it for Pretty Little Fires or whatever the Fire show is.
Yeah.
And then
Kerry
HBO,
Washington and Reese Witherspoon, I think it was.
And HBO Max did
Great.
it. You like that one?
Yeah, that show's great.
Okay. And then HBO Max did it with Raised by Wolves. But theirs is still weird because
They're doing 2 episodes.
Are they? I don't know what's the release schedule for Raised by Wolves.
But see, and another thing too, and Joe Ellis brings up a very good point, something I didn't even think about. I think they're doing once a week because they are run out of content. Most studios have been shut down for at least 3 months. And you need this stuff to last until studios get back up and running. And even if your studio gets back up and running, there's no telling if you get shut down again because your main actor got COVID. Robert Pattinson.
Pattinson.
No, Robert Pattinson.
Not that man's name.
It's Pattinson now. So,
right.
I mean, you...
His name is Cullen.
His name is what?
Edward Cullen.
Okay.
How you mute her?
If we're gonna do that, let's say his name is Neil for now.
Who was Neil?
Tenet.
Oh.
The movie that you gushed over.
Y'all just reviewed that movie.
It was Neil.
Man, a lot has happened since Monday.
All
man.
right, fair enough.
A lot has happened since Monday. So yeah, that's a very good point. You got a lot of studios that have stuff in production that they haven't been able to get to. So before COVID started, they need to make this stuff last because they need you to keep the streaming service.
Yep.
And I hate to bring it up, but the House of Mouse is the best at this because they are the king of what they consider family prestige entertainment. And they're only doing it once a week. HBO Max for their new shows, Elmos.
The Not Too Late Show?
Yeah, the Not Too Late Show. It was always, they had 2 or 3 episodes and then they did once a week. You're going to start seeing that a little bit more until they get enough content to bolster these platforms. I don't see Netflix doing it anytime soon because Netflix has so much stuff. I don't think you can physically watch everything Netflix has on. I don't think it's humanly possible for one person to watch everything they have.
Yeah.
So I don't think that
I don't think you'd want to, though.
I don't think you'd want to, but what I'm saying is, and even they have started to differentiate between their content that they make and stuff that they get and they acquire. So it's going to be one of those things where I think Netflix is going to stay the course because they are the industry leader. They take up most of the market share. They have the most content of anybody, but they've been doing it the longest. And they don't have other businesses. Their only business is this. Everybody else is putting money into this stuff because all their other businesses have failed or is on hold. Disney World is open, or is it Disneyland? One of them's open, the other one isn't. Cruise ships are closed down. So Disney is going to be trying all kind of stuff. HBO is owned by Warner Brothers and AT&T. We're going to see how they're going to do because they have their own not only subscription service, they have their own digital cable cell phone offering.
Right.
So they're doing fine to a certain extent.
Lauren, what you laughing at?
I'm loving that Rayshawn K saying, please get Lauren out of witness protection.
We want to get Lauren out of witness protection, man. We just, our technology is what it is.
That 3G internet we got.
It is what it is.
That 3G.
Side note, Brian Gamer. What did you say? What you gave it a 4, right? Out of
What?
5? Tenet?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably like a 3.
A lot of people are talking about the sound mixing.
Yeah.
And they're agreeing with you that it was not ideal.
It wasn't great. But what a movie. That thing was wild. So we done on this? Y'all still got any more on Amazon? And
No, I mean, I'm good. I thought it was very interesting. I wanted to hear what other people were thinking because it did catch me off guard that it was only 3 when they had done it before. And Amazon has done season drops before. But I felt like The Boys was one of those things they were like, oh, we got a hit here. And I know it's not out yet, but I'm putting my money down. Lord of the Rings and the Wheel of Time, whenever that comes out, is week to week.
probably.
Yeah, they're not about to blow it all on one weekend.
Yeah. And I could probably see them doing that for Lauren, did you watch Marvelous Miss Maisel?
I did not. That's one of the ones I need to go back and watch. But I was gonna say, when you were comparing HBO Max to everything too, do you still feel like because to me HBO Max is HBO with some extra channels, And I know it's streaming and everything, but I don't think it's gonna operate any differently than what an HBO would operate. Like it did in the past. So
Honestly,
I don't know if you really compare HBO Max to anything else because HBO is still a cable channel.
I think HBO the
You may
cable.
have a subscription for it, which will allow you to get other channels with it.
See,
But
I think HBO Max is what they're going to try to push a lot of people to, because if you remember, before Lovecraft Country came on HBO, it was on HBO Max. What?
I'm laughing at I'm laughing at Ryan Porter.
Did it come out at the same time?
Nah.
Ryan Porter said, "Yo, that picture is like she died."
Rest in peace, Lauren. But yeah, like I'm trying to remember what else came on HBO Max before. I think an episode of The Outsider was on H. So like they've done that. They put certain episodes on HBO Max or their streaming service, and before it came on Big HBO, like we say Big 19 and Little. They have done that before. Put stuff on the streaming service before it's been on their big HBO platform.
But that doesn't make sense to me, and I'll tell you why. Because me, as a user of my mom's DirecTV password, she has HBO, and therefore I have HBO Max without having to pay for a subscription because I already have HBO with that DirecTV. But as a person who is just getting HBO Max, what is the benefit when I can get it either way?
Because
you're not a TV subscriber or a digital subscriber.
But because you're not the target audience. You found a loophole in the system because you're not paying for it. So they don't care about you anyway. They care about your mom. You're not paying for it. But the thing is, older people, they're still going to get cable. My parents still have cable. HBO Max is for us. The people who have already cut the cord, who ain't spending $60 or $70 on a cable package, who'd rather pay $15, $16 for this. Like Michael says, Michael, you still got WWE, don't you?
Yep. I see a little $7 leave.
Yep.
$7 is nothing to me.
That's what they're hoping on.
Yeah.
That's what they're hoping on. That you'll forget this charge every month, and you'll still have this stuff, and you'll be like, oh, let me go see what's on HBO Max. Now, their biggest problem right now is that they don't have it on all the devices. It's not on Roku. It's not on Fire Stick. Yeah. That's their biggest problem.
And I'm pissed about that.
Yeah.
But that's a fight again. That's a fight between your Amazon and your service. That's their fight. But that's what they're hoping. They're hoping you forget that charge, that $10 charge that you're not paying attention to, so they can just keep getting that money.
Yeah. Not Boundless. Brian Gamer was asking, kind of wrapping up, do we prefer week to week or full?
It depends on the
drop
show.
On the thing?
It depends on the show. Like, I loved Game of Thrones week to week. It gave me something to look forward to. I do like binging stuff. I do like when it's, but I love the week to week because it's like when we come to work or you're talking to your homie and you're like, yo, did you see what happened? And y'all at the same pace, and you're not on episode 7, he's on episode 3.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I do like that. And with my new schedule, with the kid and all, I can't binge a whole show. I just can't. Because I got to do all this other stuff. So I'm leaning towards liking the week to week, but it also depends on the show.
Lauren?
I'll say, I like to binge stuff, but that's because it depends on the show. I cannot, and y'all already know, I cannot binge like
Westworld.
Westworld. Yeah, I lost it for a second.
Yeah.
And see, my brain cells are limited at this point. Can't binge that.
I feel
so
like
I have to get that bite. I can't binge Lovecraft Country because there's just so much in there that I want to digest. I watch it twice. Watch the episode twice a week. But a quick story about Lost. So when Lost came out, I was in high school, and everybody every week, they would come back and be like, "Oh, Lost was this. This is what happened on Lost. It was amazing." And I was one of those people that was like, I'm not gonna follow everybody and watch just the show that everybody's watching. So I didn't watch Lost until I graduated from college, and I was living at my mama's house on the couch trying to find a job, and I would do my little resume for 5 minutes and then binge watch Lost.
Yeah.
And I watched in like like maybe 2 weeks. Within 2 weeks, watch the whole series.
Mm-hmm.
And you caught up.
Maybe 2 or 3 weeks. It was crazy, and I'm like, I can't believe that I waited this long
To watch this show.
Lost. And then I called my high school friends like, bruh, like, why didn't y'all tell me it was this good? And they were like, we told you. But then, they but it's just funny to have it's fun to have a week-to-week show, definitely. But if you are the type of person that has been used to binge watching things like I have,
it's a culture shock.
You want that to be available on like a site like an Amazon or a Netflix when you know that those are bingeable service.
Especially like you said, you're used to it. You were used to watching The Boys straight through, and then all of a sudden, what's this 3-episode crap?
The thing that I did like about the 3-episode is it felt like it was a complete little arc within the season. Mm-hmm. So at least we got an idea of, okay, we see where everybody is, we see where they're going, and okay, let's move to the next set of 3 episodes. I did like that. It didn't seem like it wasn't. It seemed like it was a complete little mini story within season 2, which was nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that wraps up that idea. So let's get to the big news that happened this week. Microsoft got punked into dropping.
It's so weird. So I'm familiar with Windows Central, but I guess I didn't. Who was their source? They were able to be like, yeah, we know the price and all this stuff to drop everything. I'm just curious, like, what the behind the scenes were that they were able to get this from Microsoft or whoever.
You know what I wonder? Because some people, like toy people do this, toy collectors, they scour retail sites and they look for the code, and then they look for like the landing page for something, and they like look for certain keywords and they type it in. So I'm wondering, and Rayshawn K says Windows Central knows people in Microsoft. I wonder if they knew someone in Microsoft who was putting together the landing page for the pre-order. And they knew, because what they had was everything. They had
the video. How'd you get the internal promotional video?
Because you know why? I bet you they knew, or somebody knew where to look in the site, and knew, because that page had already had to be built.
Right.
And it probably had to be behind something, and it was probably, because if correct me if I'm wrong, the rumor is Sony and Microsoft were going to drop next week, and that Microsoft got pumped because Windows Central dropped all this knowledge, and they had to just go ahead and do it. Sony is probably still going to do their drop next week. But if that stuff was already built, somebody probably found the code for wherever that page was and just started extrapolating and was like, oh, this is the price, this is this, and that's probably how they did it. I'm just speculating.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Say it again, Lauren.
How much does it cost?
Oh, So
go ahead, break it down.
Okay, Windows Central, they had the leak, then Microsoft confirmed it. So the new Xbox family of systems are going to be 2 different systems. Your super powerful Xbox Series X is going to be $499, and then the Xbox Series S is $299, and that one is all digital.
Right, I'm looking at this image and I don't see. Yeah, okay.
Keep
I don't
going.
see like a place where I can put my disc that I would be buying.
Oh, but keep going. Explain the pricing and then the.
Well, it's. I think it's pretty genius in that the Xbox Series S will essentially do pretty much everything the X will, except you won't get 4K. You'll get 1440, which is like 2K.
But it will upscale.
It'll upscale it to 4K.
If you have a 4K TV.
But you're getting pretty much the exact same performance. The Series X is a little bit more powerful, but it's pretty close performance-wise. You just don't get that graphical fidelity. That to me.
But keep going in the pricing though, because you like how the pricing is set up.
Oh, so in addition to $299 and $499, you can, if you qualify, you can do a payment plan where you would pay $35 a month for the $499 console, and that gets you the box as well as their subscription service to Xbox games, to Microsoft Games Ultimate, whatever it's called.
How much is the?
You'll never be able to own this thing.
You will.
If you don't just pay it outright.
You will. It's a year at that price, but it will be more expensive.
Yeah.
Right.
But you're also getting a month subscription to Xbox Games Ultimate, which gives you like 100 games, access to over 100 games that you can download at any time and play.
And you get access to EA's.
I don't care about that.
But what I guess reason why I say you need to explain the pricing is because it goes back to a thing that I heard somebody say, I don't remember who it was, that Microsoft is doing more of a service versus Sony selling you a console.
You're not gonna get me.
What?
You know who you heard it from.
I don't know. What are you talking about?
Nope. So, Lauren, you're not gonna get me. Not today. No, Lord. You either have
what was I trying to do?
That $35 a month subscription for the Series X, or the $25 a month for the Series S, and that gets you access into their gaming infrastructure of kind of like the Netflix of gaming almost.
But
I'm wondering, because y'all know my mom plays Xbox, and the only reason why I would get one is to play The Sims on them again. So if I were me being just a very low interest gamer, you think that Xbox
S
the S would be enough for me? Because I know my mom's gonna get the X.
The
she
S
wants the best, the biggest, the baddest, whatever. But for me,
Lauren is literally. Lauren is literally the. Remember we were talking about target demographic. You were like, well, who was HBO for? HBO Max. Whoever said it, I don't know who.
Yes.
The whole this is a service. I think it goes beyond that.
Stab me right here. I would just stab you and leave and be like, I don't know.
It's more than a service. They're actually what it almost sets up like cell phones. So let's say when you go to get your cell phone, right? You know the difference between an iPhone this or a Samsung this. What they're setting up for you to buy this, and you do the base price. This is a base price for this Xbox or this Xbox or this Xbox. You pay X amount down, and you pay X amount a month, which gives you, for you, Lord, you're not going to pay $60, $70 every other month for a game because you're mainly only going to play The Sims. You are their perfect customer because if you buy it at $350, right? You get this service that gives you access to all these games, so you can casually dip it, and they're free. It's over 100 games, and you'll play maybe Ori Will o' the Wisp. She may play Gears of War on a whim or something like that, or go back and look at this 360 catalog. She's going to do that. She is the perfect person to buy the Xbox S.
And Lauren, you were talking about playing The Sims. With the if you were to do the monthly subscription, or if you decided to get Xbox Games Ultimate and having that EA access, I don't know, but I'm curious if EA access has The Sims in it.
Yeah.
Because if it does, it does.
I believe so.
Because if that gives you access to that.
Yeah. I'm only guessing because of the EA game.
Right. I don't know exactly which games are included in it and which ones aren't. Because they have kind of like a vault for EA access almost. Yeah.
Oh, I'm looking at this article, and it says, in addition to the 100 plus games on the Xbox Game Pass library, Ultimate and PC members will be able to. These are play more than 60 of EA's biggest and best console and PC games.
Yep.
But what is Ultimate and PC?
The Ultimate thing is talking about that's the Xbox Ultimate Game Pass.
The Pass, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so they have The Sims on there.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go.
That's what I said. Lauren literally is their target demographic. And then also what Microsoft did was great, which was smart, was, Michael, you said it's a possibility you were going to buy both consoles. Michael is a second target demographic for the S because he may spend $5 on that Sony PlayStation and may not have another $5 to dump on an Xbox, whatever, but you got enough money to drop
$300 for the smaller
and so,
version.
Or let's say you already have a Switch. You got another $350 to drop. So Microsoft is genius at doing this because they're not directly head-to-head fighting Sony because they're not providing honestly the same thing. They're trying to reshape themselves into a utilitarian service that also allows you to play video games.
Yeah. So, I mean, do we have an idea what the Sony PS5 is going to cost? You guys got any ideas?
I think it's gonna be $500 and then $450 for the discless version.
Oh, it's got to be more than $50.
Nah.
That's okay. That would be wild if they only dropped the discless version $50.
I don't because it's essentially the same console without just digital. There's no graphic and like the difference between Sony and Microsoft's version is Microsoft the S is a watered down Xbox Series X.
Mm-hmm.
Sony's PS5 discless is still the same console.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a different console.
Mm-hmm.
So I only see them dropping it a few bucks because
that'd be wild.
because the thing is they're already going to lose money on this console. How much more money are they willing to lose on a digital only version?
Yeah. Lauren, so do you have any interest in a Series X or Series S?
I kind of have some interest in the Series S.
Mm-hmm.
Kinda. We'll see where my funds are at when we get there.
And then what about a PS5 at all?
No.
See?
And is that just because you haven't seen any recent news on it, or?
The price.
No, I'm just an Xbox stand for a minute. I mean, not a stand, but like Xbox has been like, that's what I played.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I played all the PSs, growing up and everything. But
All the S's.
I think
All the PSs.
All the PSs. But also,
You know what I'm talking about, all the PlayStation.
Yeah, we got you.
all the PSs.
PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
You already played the PS5.
I played the PS5.
So yeah, I don't.
got it in my house right now. Beta version.
O'Keefe Robinson asked, "What are the big differences between the two?" O'Keefe, do you mean between the S and the X, or the PS5 and the Xbox? Because the big difference between the S and the X is
Graphical fidelity,
Yeah.
for the most part. Because they're both going to be able to do up to 120 frames per second, which is wild.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Super smooth, silky game rate. It's going to have variable refresh rates and variable shaders. So, everything... Whenever a game drops in frames, it should be able to compensate so it doesn't look as choppy as it might have in the past. So, there you go.
I think it's going to be interesting to see what Sony does. Right now, Sony doesn't have to do what The one thing I think that's interesting that Microsoft is doing is that they're putting out all of these different things because they have to. One, they are a different type of company than Sony is. Sony is not just a video game company. Sony sells you TVs. Sony sells you entertainment systems. Sony also sells you cameras. Sony makes movies. So at the end of the day, the two companies have different philosophies. But when it comes to video games, Microsoft kind of had to do this. When you're behind, as much as Microsoft has been, you have to do something to be like, hey, look at me. It almost goes back to that whole thing that you hear comedians say, if you're going to be ugly, you can't be mean. Because you can't be both.
You won't have no friends.
See?
You won't have no friends.
One of my favorite comedians is Chris Porter. When he was like, if you're going to be, he says, I'm ugly, but I'm funny. And he's like, for you women out there, if you're ugly, don't be mean, because you can't be both. He's like, like people say, pick your struggle. Microsoft has always been behind when it comes to video games, when it compared to Sony and even Nintendo to a certain extent. So Microsoft has had to make these moves. They've had to make a lower console or a reduced price console. They've had to do these services. But also their philosophies are so different. So in a way, what Microsoft is doing is pushing the industry to adopt these things. which is great. Now the question is, does Sony feel that pressure to combat Microsoft or be like, we're the industry leader, we're the big dog in the room? F you, we don't have to do this.
I'm curious if Sony is going to be $4.99. I think it might be $5.99.
I said that. I said it was fine. I said that this console Sony may come out and be like $5.99, but
now we know that didn't work for PS3, but maybe
it
they'll
did
try
not.
it again.
Like I said, I was the dummy who bought it,
Yeah,
but I had some gift cards and coupons.
there we go.
Y'all also forget that I have the PSP.
So thank you, Lauren. True PlayStation fan right here, Lauren Thomas.
Brian gave me right. Microsoft makes
Xbox.
Microsoft makes hardware as well, but Microsoft is a computer company. They all in all, they've always been a computer company, where Sony has been a multitude of things. I wouldn't be surprised if Sony just tries to make a car. I'm just like I wouldn't be surprised if Sony didn't try to make a driverless car.
Oh, because I feel like they did make a car.
I'm not shocked.
Because I feel like we reported on it during CES.
Like I said,
I feel like I remember that story.
I'm not doubting, and that's why I said they have two different philosophies. Microsoft is coming at this like, how do we get into everybody's home and be in their home and be part of their family, to a sense where you not forget that they're there, but like almost like Alexa. How do we get to be an Alexa? And that's what Microsoft is trying to do. Where Sony's like, we just gonna keep making these games, dog, because that's what we've been doing all this time. You want Spider-Man? We got you right here. You want that Last of Us? Come get that hit. But is that going to work going forward? And with these new generation of gamers who play Fortnite, who play PUBG, are they going to be the ones who are willing to drop $500 to $600 on a console without all these extra things that Microsoft is giving you almost for free?
Yeah. On that, we got to wrap up. Lauren, you got anything you want to say?
Man, just y'all, I just enjoy. Thank you for inviting me for this. First of all,
hey, you always welcome. Even if we can't get the video working, you always welcome.
I mean, we let you in the building if you know.
We would let you in the building.
Yeah, we get in trouble.
Yeah,
but we would. Now they probably would.
Be in the building no more. I mean, COVID, yes, I can't be in the building, but like after COVID, they didn't say anything like, "Oh, Lauren's not allowed on the premises."
that you know of.
I tell you.
Man. Y'all got an email. Yo.
I'd have been like, I didn't hear that. I wasn't on that call.
I've been excommunicated. No, but I just really appreciate it, and I love watching y'all. Y'all know. So, yeah.
Lauren, you talk like you still not a nerd. I mean, you still part of the crew. Just because you don't work here, don't mean you're not a nerd. You talk like you're not with us anymore.
True.
Yeah.
Oh, what got y'all through the week?
Avengers.
Really?
Yeah, it's like, this is fun.
Okay.
It's a buggy mess, but it's fun.
Okay.
Brian Gamer, when do I play? I play
At night.
Usually at night, Eastern time, probably around midnight or so, and then maybe like 9 in the morning to like noon Eastern time. That's probably when I'm most playing Avengers. So we'll figure out a time to play. Yeah.
Lauren, what got you through the week besides your new job?
P-Valley.
P-Valley? My dad been watching that.
Really?
He's watched and he was like, that's a little too much. But I'm like, you know everything about it.
You should know. You should know it's about to be too much. It's called P-Valley, which is, you know.
I think it came on and he thought it was The Shy. And he kept watching it and then realized it wasn't.
So Uncle Clifford, he was like, wait, this ain't The Shy.
Why that girl got a string in her butt?
Next show is getting me through, and then work and just me. I've been working on some more music, so that's been getting me through as well.
All right, cool.
When you dropping your new music?
I'm being a perfectionist. It's coming.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. You didn't tell us what you doing.
Oh, for me it was Warframe and watching The Boys.
Okay.
So, yeah. And NFL is back. NBA is back. I mean, it's been back for a while, but the NFL's back. So, yeah. I hope you guys watch some games this weekend. And take care of yourselves. Michael. Antoine L., she doesn't rap, she sings. Lauren is really big into music. Lauren has been a music head for a minute. So check her out when she starts putting this music up. Lauren, tell the people where they can find you.
I mean, they can't find me nowhere yet. I mean, I'm on SoundCloud, but you won't be able to find me on
She in witness protection, man. They already told us. She in witness protection.
That's true.
Yeah. You can't find me no more. I'm out here.
Out here in these streets.
But yeah, no, I kind of rap. Like, I have some raps on there, but it's not like, Cardi B or anything like that. It's just like spoken word type stuff. But,
Oh, you got conscious music.
I got conscious music.
You ain't trying. You ain't
Mainly breakup music, mainly right now. But,
not trying to be out here called Megan Thee Stallion.
no, I'm not.
You-
You know what's funny? Okay, so I came with a name. My name's Lola.
Uh-huh.
That I want to and that's because of Ida B. Wells, when she was writing her she was doing her investigation into the lynchings in the South, she signed all of her reports as Lola to save her identity, and try to be safe. So I was like, okay, this is one, it's a great stage name. Two, it's Ida B. Wells, the mother of investigative journalism. And I thought I could, merge the two.
Okay. Lauren, I had dropping knowledge on these people with these conscious bars.
Yeah.
Hey, I gotta go finish this show.
Cautious ball.
That's what O'Keefe called them. All right, guys. So we'll wrap this up. I want to thank you for everybody who was able to join us. You know what to do. Like, subscribe, hit that bell, all those things. So we will say peace out to Lauren. Be safe out there. Look out for one another. And just, hey, have fun, man. Michael, let's wrap this up.
Okay.
We out! I gotta take a nap.